Joe, how have things been for you and the lads since Tuesday's game?
For me personally, a very frustrating bus ride home because I felt we left 2 points behind, but that's where a night's sleep always helps, because you wake up, you watch the game back and you look at all the good things we did, and the areas that weren't so good in the last 10-15 minutes are areas that we can do better. So I think there's two ways you can look at it: negative in terms of the fact we've dropped 2 points, but also a positive in terms of it was a step forward in a lot of ways, and what we have to do is keep carrying that forward. For the players, their response in horrendous weather conditions yesterday was excellent for the training session, and their approach to it, and obviously a lot of it was about recovery as well. And then today they've trained very well, and the group is in a good place, as they are day to day, and what they're producing each day is really, really pleasing. What we've got to do is translate that to a 90-minute game of football, and once we do that and pick a result up, we're going to be fine.
Can you give us a squad update specifically on Joe Nawima?
Well, yeah, obviously a few eagle-eyed people would have noticed that he wasn't on the team sheet on Tuesday. Essentially, it's been an ongoing situation since before I got offered the interim position with regards to Joe. Obviously, those that don't know, he has his family back in Australia, and unfortunately he's got a relative that's quite unwell at the moment. So after some chats with myself and the people above me, on a human level, it felt like the right thing to let him go home. It's something that he's wanted to do for a while, and that hasn't been able to happen for one reason or another. For me, I know if my relative was in the situation that his is in, that I'd want to be there with him, and that's the decision he's made. He goes completely with my blessing, and obviously we really, really wish him well, and hopefully he joins us back here at some point. Obviously there's no guarantee that's going to happen, but for now, family's certainly far more important. So our thoughts are with him and his family, and obviously I thank him for all his hard work throughout the time that he was here.
Is there any injuries that us or the fans should be made aware of?
Nothing that I want to give away to the opposition in terms of where our squad is at the moment. Obviously we've had some long-term absentees in Cameron Ford-Brown, in Emmanuel Madger, that's now making his way back into the team and getting healthier as he goes. Obviously from the other night, Tom Dickens coming off wasn't an injury as such, but was something unfortunately in terms of illness that meant that he had to be replaced, but he was honest about it, which was important. Cam Ford-Brown will hopefully be back on the bench tomorrow, which will be a massive boost. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to have him for a length of time this year. He just broke down for one reason or another, but we're hoping now he's over the worst of it and he can be a positive addition for us. We've been unlucky with injuries for a number of reasons, but now we're getting to a point where we're getting lads back to a cleaner bill of health. I suppose one other one to note would be Mickey Yassi. He's been struggling with an issue with his ankle, which was the reason why I took him off when I did, because I could see that he wasn't comfortable on it. And the hard thing to balance at the moment is that we have got a very thin squad, and I've got players that are running themselves into the ground, and I've got to find a balance sometimes, which is difficult, between the game that's there in front of me and the games ahead, because the last thing I want is to flog certain players and then they get to a point where they're injured and out for a length of time. And when you are Saturday, Tuesday, that's something we have to be mindful of with these boys. So it's a frustration at times, but I need everybody here. I need everybody fit, and we're getting there now. We're hopefully getting to the other side of it, but within that we've got to manage it correctly as well. The boys do everything they can to look after themselves, and as their manager I've got to do the same.
Moving on to tomorrow's game, Radcliffe have had their best start to a league season since Anthony Johnson has been in charge. How do we look to deal with a team that are coming to the Walks with such a flow in confidence?
By being ourselves and by getting to our level. And I'll be honest, I don't care who we play against. I don't care how they set up. I want my team and my players to produce the best version of themselves and believe that they can implement what's being asked of them. We've got a very capable group of players that, yes, we've lost confidence, yes, we haven't picked up the results that we want, but at the same time, it only takes one result to turn it. And they've shown in different parts of different games how capable they are. Since I've been sat here, we've been in front 4 out of the 5 games. So we're not far away from where we need to be. Radcliffe are a very good side. There ain't no hiding that. They're excellent. They're probably the best I've watched since I've been doing this as a manager. Bernard and John have done a great job, but I expect that with their teams. They're front-footed, aggressive, got a lot of experience. What more do you want? But I know what I've got. I've got some really hard-working young men that care, that want to do well and want to win. We're trained hard and we're going into tomorrow wanting to win the game, and that doesn't change.
Finally, how important has it been for us to have the fans stick by us through this difficult patch, and how determined are you to reward them this weekend?
So we do it for, we do it for ourselves because we all want to be successful individually and collectively, but you do it for them because I think they appreciate effort, and I think they can appreciate from the group of players and myself, or I'd like to think so. They know it isn't for a lack of trying, it's not for a lack of care, It's not through a lack of wanting to do well for this football club. Sometimes things in games go wrong. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes people make mistakes. That's life, because you've also got a team setting up to try and play against you and beat you. But I think what they see with us is a group of people that want to do well for this football club. You know, we've been thrust into a crazy situation than none of us expected. We've had to navigate it carefully. But beyond that, we want to win football matches. We want to win them as quickly as possible. But beyond that, I also want to take this club forward culturally, in terms of environment, and get us on a stable footing to go forward. I'm never going to change how I am. I'm never going to change my belief in the way the game should be played. So if at times tomorrow we give the ball away, don't blame the players, blame me. If at times it doesn't quite go right, don't blame the players, blame me. And I promise you, if you stick with them, they'll reward you in the end. And that will never be through a lack of not wanting to do so. So please stick with them, please stick with me. Come and make some noise, and let's make sure that we do our best to go and get a result tomorrow.